Good morning, students. So welcome at ICI YouTube channel. Basically, today we are going to discuss about accounting for hire purchase and installment sale transaction, which is the most important chapter of CA Intermediate Paper 1. And this is to be done by ICI portal by CA Pradeep Makkad myself. So let's start with this. In this, I would like to first of all give you an overview that in this chapter, first of all, we will cover the introduction of this chapter, and then we will go for the terms which are used in hire purchase agreement. Simultaneously, what will be the method of recording that we will discuss in this. And after then we will go for the journal entries, whatever we have to pass in this. And then we have to go for the practical exposure or balance sheet, how you will have to disclose it in balance sheet. Then how to pass entries in vendors books, journal entries in vendor books. And then we have to go some illustrations and then advanced topics, which are also very much important from examination point of view. Normally this type of questions comes into the exam. So all that we will do today. Today's topic is very important, but before that, let's come to our previous topic, profit prior to incorporation, which we were doing in the previous lecture. So if there is any doubt, first of all, I would like to take those doubts and then I would like to proceed. It will be beneficial for the students. So I will like to do that. Yes, students, good morning, good morning, good morning. Very good. Everyone is present. Everyone who is present must send the good morning so that we can understand that how many students are present and how many are attendant and punctual for the classes, because regularity and punctuality is most important. So beta, be regular and be punctual. Let's come to the point. I received a doubt in illustration number 7 in pre and post incorporation chapter sent by Raghavan. Very good, Raghavan. It means for you have done this chapter. This is good. It has acquired Def and Company on 1st of April. Then before incorporation, it is in company form. Then why we are not dividing preliminary underwriting commission, interest on debenture for both pre and post? Better let's understand this thing that I would like to write it down for you so that everyone can understand this thing. An important question is asked by a student that why we are not allocating preliminary expenses, underwriting commission, and third one is interest on debentures, because these three are looking like time related expenses. So why we are not allocating them in time? Already we have discussed in our previous lectures, but I would like to review it once again, that these expenses are those expenses which are always meant for a company. Now let's understand this thing. If there is no company, how an expense of company cannot be allocated in that period? In pre-incorporation period, there was no company at all. We doesn't need any company in that period according to accounting point of view. From the business point of view, there's no company beta. If there is no company, then how we can allocate expenses of company in that period? This is a problem. Preliminary expenses are incurred for starting a company. And if there is no company in pre-incorporation period, we are trying to open a company. So you must have to understand this thing, that these expenses, preliminary expenses, underwriting commission, these expenses are assumed as those expenses which are incurred for the purpose of starting a company, for the purpose of issue of shares. These are not time related expenses. These are purely corporate expenses. So this is not the fundamental in profit prior to incorporation is different. That you must have to know. Only those expenses which are related to pre and post both, which are related to every type of business, will be allocated in time ratio, in sales ratio. But those which are purely related to a company, like if we are paid a partner's salary, then partner's salary cannot be in post, because there is no partner in post period. So that will always go to pre. So these all expenses will go to post incorporation, as these relates to company only, beta. Very good. Good morning to everyone. I have done all questions you told about. Very good, beta. Very good. I have done Mantanjali. I have done all the questions, sir. Very good. Yukti, good morning. Please explain bad debts and bad debts recovery treatment. Let's understand this. What meant for bad debts? Bad debts meant for those losses which has been incurred against our debtors, and bad debts are source of bad debts is debtors, and source of debtors is sale, because first of all we are making sale and then debtors are created out of it, and then out of debtors bad debts occurs. So this is purely related to sales because the source is sales, hence bad debts will be divided in sales ratio. One thing should be clear to everyone. Now coming to bad debts recovered. Bad debts recovered. Bad debts recovered are out of bad debts we have suffered earlier. So bad debts suffered by us. Now bad debts are out of debtors, but the link with debtors and bad debts is broken when bad debts are written off. Once bad debt is written off, then bad debts and bad debtors link is broken. So now the link of bad debts recovered can maximum go to bad debts, because once bad debts is written off, we can't carry it forward. We doesn't have any details of it. We doesn't have any information of it. We only know that these bad debts are occurred to us, because we can't keep it for 5 years or 10 years, because when bad debts are occurred, we assume that this amount cannot be recovered in future. Now we are not going to expect anything which we can earn in future. This is a loss which has been suffered by us. So once loss is suffered by us, it comes to an end. But if it is recovered in future, that is a gain. So this gain is against a loss, and that loss is bad debts. So whomsoever is the period in which bad debts are borne by us, we have to assume bad debts recovered for the same period. जिस पीरियड के बैड डेट्स हैं उसी पीरियड के बेटा हमने बैड डेट्स रिकवर्ड मानने हैं. अगर बैड डेट्स आपको हुए हैं पोस्ट के पीरियड में, तो फिर उसका रिकवरी जो होगा वो पोस्ट में ही आएगा. और अगर बैड डेट्स आपको हुए हैं प्री के पीरियड से पहले, मतलब पिछले सालों में हुए हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली उसका जो रिकवरी है वो आपको प्री के पीरियड में ही डालनी है. लेट्स नोट इट डाउन विद यू. Preliminary expenses are those expenses which are incurred for starting a company. That is ROC expenses, CA expenses, whatever expenses we have paid for starting a company, for formation of a company, is called preliminary expenses. Underwriting commission means that commission which is paid to the underwriters for helping us for achieving the target of 90% of issue. Basically, this is normally covered in your. Let's come to the point. In CA Foundation, you have done that we have to issue shares for starting a company, or at the time of starting of a company, or later on, whenever we are issuing a share, the 90% of the shares must be subscribed by the public. Otherwise, issue will be cancelled. So 90% shares must be subscribed by the public, but that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen, बेटा. आप पहली बार एक कंपनी स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, क्या ऐसा पॉसिबल है कि 90% शेयर पब्लिक ले लेगी आपके? नॉर्मली नहीं. व्हेन यू आर इशूइंग शेयर्स फर्स्ट टाइम और सेकंड टाइम, देन दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रॉब्लम may arise. So due to that, to overcome the problem of issue of shares, 90% target we have to achieve. So if 90% target is not achieved, we have to refund money to the public. We have to refund our application money to the public. तो रिफंड करनी पड़ती है एप्लीकेशन मनी, तो उस केस में शेयर्स इशू कैंसिल हो जाता है. सो लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस थिंग. इफ 90% target is to be achieved, we will approach to some underwriters. These underwriters are those persons which gives guarantee that if public will not take over your shares, we will take over. Means if public will take over 70% of the shares, then if 100% underwriting is given by these underwriters, then it meant for balance 30% will be taken over by the underwriters. So they will take over remaining 30% shares. So our problem is solved. We may easily achieve the target of 90%, because if 90% target is not achieved, they will help us to achieve the target. They will acquire those shares. There is no worry. Now against that commitment, they will charge commission from us. That commission is called underwriting commission, beta, because they have given us a guarantee. Even there may be a chance that it doesn't take any share because public has already taken 90% or 100% of the share and they need not to take any share, but they will be entitled to get commission for that because they are doing all this to earn something. They are, no one is giving us anything free. So whatever commission we have to pay them, that is called underwriting commission beta. And this commission is obviously related to company, hence charge to company. In illustration number 4, Memon Rafiq Bhai has asked, in illustration number 4, why we have not allocated freight and carriage. Beta, freight and carriage is a direct expense. It will be allocated in GP ratio or sales ratio. And we have already entered it in trading count or for calculation of GP. So if even we are not allocating purchases, we are not allocating direct, what that is called, opening stock, we are not allocating closing stock, whatever are the items of your trading count may be directly entered in trading count. Trading account may be prepared combinedly, jointly for the purpose of calculating GP. We have to first calculate the GP and then it will be allocated. All means before, if GP is not given to us, what we will do? We will prepare trading count or step number 1 for calculation of GP that I have discussed in my first lecture. Last to last lecture, I have discussed all that. So you may please refer that lecture, and in that you will understand how to calculate the GP. Otherwise, I would like to repeat in simple words that sale plus closing stock minus opening stock minus purchases minus direct expenses. All that will be done. Balance will be GP, and that GP will be allocated in pre and post beta. In illustration number 2, they have divided advertisement in time ratio instead of sale ratio. Why? Let's see beta. They have divided. So I would like to see. Just a moment. Let's see illustration number 2. Yes. Advertisement 48,000 under a contract amounting to rupees 4,000 per month. Very good question. But you have to understand this thing. Any expense which is fixed per month will be allocated in time ratio. Any expense which is depending upon sales, which is variable with sale, which is related to sales, will be entered in sales ratio. Now, he has mentioned that advertisement is there. We know that advertisement is a sales expense, but in this case, it has been clearly mentioned that it will be paid as rupees 4,000 per month, as we have already made a contract with the advertisement company. Now, this is fixed per month, fixed. So if any expense is fixed per month, that is obviously time-based expense. It is not sale-based expense. So due to that reason, it has been divided in time ratio beta. So you have to understand the concept, not the point. You have to understand the concept beta. Don't try to remember anything. Try to understand the logic. Logic, I have already discussed with you. Time ratio will be used wherever we assume that this expense is approximately fixed or approximately equal in every month. And those expenses which are not relating to time and which are normally related to sales are to be divided in sales ratio. But if any big change is made by them by making a special instructions to you, then we have to take those instructions beta. Okay. Now let's start hire purchase. According to my opinion, every problem is solved. Tell me if there is any problem in profit prior to incorporation. Otherwise, I would like to go for hire purchase. One homework which I would like to give to you in profit prior to incorporation, that you should have to do all the questions, whatever has come into your exams in the previous attempts. You should have to do all those questions, and also those questions which are in the RTP beta. You should have to do that and practice it. Check it out that could you do it easily or is there any problem. Means you have to do questions from RTP and last year examination questions. That will be important for you. Must do it. If there is any doubt, doesn't matter. I will take those doubts at the end of the next lecture. There's no worry at all. Now I'm going to start for you hire purchase, an important chapter from examination point of view. Already discussed that this chapter is a part of that 20 to 25 marks which I have committed that you will get if you will do three chapters. One is profit prior to incorporation, second is hire purchase, third is insurance claim. So these three chapters in toto covers normally 20 to 25 marks of your exams, and also these are named as a tough chapter, but we can do it very easily. Just tell me one thing, whether profit prior to incorporation was easy or tough. I would like to see your comment whether profit prior to incorporation was easy or tough. Now you should have to give your comment at the beginning, in the mid. Maybe you have assumed that it is tough. Now, according to my opinion, it should be very much easy for all of you. In the same manner, hire purchase chapter will be the easiest chapter out of all the chapters we have done in accounting. That I like to assure you. But otherwise, it has been assumed as a technical chapter, and normally students are in a problem while doing this chapter. But I would like to commit to you that today session will make it easy, and the next session, which will be the most important session, will make it the most easiest chapter for you. There are some technical points which we have to discuss in step-by-step way. I would like to cover easy, tough, because I have allocated the working of the chapter in such a way so it should be interesting for you. When it is easy, don't expect that it will be easy for the next 1 hour also, or in the next lecture also. It may be tough in that case, but it is not tough. It will be technical. We have to solve it in such a way, by such a technique, that it will be easy for you. Then when it is technical, don't worry, because obviously easy part will come once again. So if it is done in this manner, then you will easily get good marks into your examination. You can easily solve it in your examination. Very good. Let's come to hire purchase and installment transactions. Now the two words are there, hire purchase and installment sales transaction. So these two words are two different methods. What is hire purchase? I would like to introduce it in such a way that I'm a person who is interested to acquire something, who is interested to purchase something. Like I'm interested to purchase a car. Now I doesn't have that much amount of money with me, whatever is required to purchase that car. In that case, I may talk to the seller. I may request to the seller that I am interested to purchase a car, but the issue is I doesn't have full amount available with me now. I may pay it in installments, in EMIs. You may please help me that you may give me the car now and I may make the payment in installments. So this type of problems can be solved in this way. Interested to acquire an asset now, but interested to pay it in installments, then such type of concept comes into the picture. This enables the purchaser to use the asset while paying for it in installment over the period of time. Whatever the period, just assume I have purchased a car in this way and I have committed to the seller that I will make the payment within the next 5 years in installments, that is in 60 installments. Then obviously in that case, what will happen? In that case, he will allow me to use that car for that 5 years, and the commitment should be that I may make the payment regularly. So this is the concept of hire purchase. This business deal is called hire purchase transaction. Why it is called hire purchase? This means, for one thing, payment would be made in installments. Each installment will be assumed as a rental. It is not payment. In the beginning, it will be assumed as a rental. Means if I have purchased a car for rupees 25,000 per month installment, I have to make an installment, pay an installment of rupees 25,000 per month. But the vendor will tell to me that I am giving you the car for rupees 25,000 per month, but that 25,000 is not the payment you have made. against that car. Instead, that is a higher charge if you will not make the payment in full. If at any time I stop making the payments, I stopped making the payment, then whatever amount I paid to him will be forfeited, will be cancelled, will be assumed as null. In that case, he will assume that he has just charged higher charges from us and he will take back the asset. So this type of benefit is available with him. In case any default is made, even at the last of the in the even in the last installment, the seller will be entitled to take away the goods without compensating the higher purchaser. So this type of concept is hire purchase. In hire purchase, both are beneficiaries because the benefit to hire vendor is that his goods are sold. If purchaser will not take the payment, obviously he have the right to take back the goods. But purchaser have also an advantage. Purchaser got the car for rupees at the time by making a payment of just one installment, and he can use the car, but he can use the car even if he have not made the full payment. Otherwise, he can purchase the car only if he have paid rupees 10 lakhs, because if the car costs rupees 10 lakhs, then he will have to make the payment of 10 lakh. But in case of hire purchase, he may take the car for rupees 25,000 per month only. So otherwise he will have to collect rupees 10 lakhs within the next 5 years, and then he will have to pay to the vendor, and vendor may give the car or not, because obviously inflation will also be there, rate will also increase, so all that there may be a problem, and he will not be able to get the car now. But in this case, he will be able to get the car now. So hire purchaser has its own benefits, vendor has its own benefits, but vendor must be secured and purchaser must be purchased. Hire means rental, kiraya. Purchase means simple purchase. So in this case, we have paid a rental to purchase anything. So this rental, this hire का मतलब होता है किराया. तो एक तरह से मैं किराया दे रहा हूँ गुड्स को परचेज करने के लिए. तो इसमें जो भी पेमेंट है वो हम लोग इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में करेंगे. दूसरा, जो इंस्टॉलमेंट की पेमेंट हम कर रहे हैं, जो परचेजर वेंडर को पे कर रहा है, वो उसको रेंटल मानेगा वेंडर, अगर पेमेंट नहीं की जाती पूरी. तो अगर वो पेमेंट पूरी कर रहा है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है, नॉर्मल है, वो इसको अपने प्राइस के अगेंस्ट ही मान रहा है. परचेजर ये मान रहा है कि मैंने कोई एसेट परचेज किया है, मैं उसकी पेमेंट कर रहा हूँ. वेंडर ये मान रहा है कि मैंने कोई सेल करी है, उसकी मुझे पेमेंट आ रही है. बट इन केस जो आपका परचेजर है वो पेमेंट करने में आनाकानी करता है, वो पेमेंट नहीं करता, इन दैट केस जो भी पेमेंट उसने करी हुई है अब तक वो फोरफिट हो जाएगी, और जो वेंडर है वो एसेट को एक्वायर कर लेगा, उठा के ले जाएगा, वापस ले जाएगा. दूसरा, जब पेमेंट पूरी कर दी जाएगी, पूरी पेमेंट हो जाएगी, सारी इंस्टॉलमेंट्स पे हो जाएंगी जो हमने शुरू में कमिट करी थी, तो उसके बाद ऑटोमेटिकली जो उसकी ओनरशिप है वो परचेजर के पास चली जाएगी. तो ये तीन बातों को माइंड में रख के चलते हैं. Now, what are the terms which has been used in this hire purchase agreement? First term, possession. What means for the possession? Possession means for retained karna. That we have retained this item with us. This means for possession. So if purchaser has purchased the goods or acquired the goods, that means for he has possessed the goods, he has retained the goods, because this is not the ownership which has been transferred. Due to that reason, here the word possession will be used, that he has the possession of goods with him. Vendor has given him the possession. Next, down payment. When vendor gives him the possession of the goods, at that time some initial payment is to be made. That may be the first installment which is to be made at the time of taking over the goods, at the time when hire purchaser possess the goods with him, retain the goods, acquire the goods. At the time, whatever the payment is made at the first instance, that is called down payment. And then obviously at that time an agreement is to be signed. So we are saying payment made by the hire purchaser at the time of signing the agreement or acquiring the goods, one and the same thing. If purchaser fails to make any payment, any installment, then vendor has the right to take back the goods. If vendor take back the goods, if vendor acquire the goods back, then it is called repossession. Possession means for given by vendor to purchaser, and repossession means for when vendor acquire the goods back to him. Vendor take back the goods with him. That is called repossession. Hire vendor means for hire vendor is a person who deliver the goods. Hire vendor is whom? Seller. Seller is a hire vendor in this case. And purchaser is a hire purchaser in this case. Just name is changed because the concept is changed, so name is also changed. Purchaser is a hire purchaser, will be named as hire purchaser, and seller will be named as hire vendor. Now, the most important word is cash price. Cash price means for the price if we purchase the goods by making the full payment at the first instance. Then whatever price we have to pay, that is called cash price. Cash price means for the price which is to be paid if payment is to be made at the first instance, means full payment is made. Then whatever will be the price, that is called cash price, which is not used in this case because in this case we are purchasing goods on installment. So in this case, cash price will not be paid. Instead, we have to make extra payment. So otherwise, we are saying if in case no delay in payment is there, no installment payment is there, payment is made in one go, then what will be the price? That is called cash price, beta. Sir, lagging. Now video is paused. This is also given in low sales of goods. Sir, please check. Is there any problem in video? Okay, बेटा जिनकी वीडियो में दिक्कत आ रही है ना, that is due to the reason of their own internet. Sir, बेटा please check your internet. जिनकी भी इंटरनेट की प्रॉब्लम अपनी पर्सनल होगी, बिकॉज मैंने अभी आईटी वालों से भी कंसल्ट किया है. दे आर सेइंग कि एवरीथिंग इज ओके, देयर इज नो वीडियो बफरिंग प्रॉब्लम, वीडियो इज रनिंग वेरी फास्ट एंड वेरी गुड. So please check your own internet connections, beta. Yes. Students have mentioned that profit prior to incorporation was very easy. So thanks for your response, and also you must have to give good feedback, as well as you have to like the video, share the videos to as much people as much you can, because if you will share it with other students, obviously they will be benefited, because this teaching concept, teaching methodology is made for the benefit of the students only, because ICA is not charging anything. I am also giving everything in a very honest way, because I am not interested to keep anything with me as a reserve. I would like to give it to you so that you can get the benefit. So it must be given to every student. Let's try to, number of students are taking coaching somewhere else also. They must have to get the concept that this chapter is very easy and they can do it. If you will share the video with them, obviously that will be benefited. So let's help them. Now, Sneha has asked a query, only calculating ratios and apportionment on the basis the easiest chapter of accounts. Thank you, sir. Welcome, beta. Hire and lease are same or different? Beta, in accounting, hire and lease is same till now. This is basically law related word, hire and lease. In this chapter, we are discussing about sale only. This is not practically hire. This is not practically anything else. This is basically sale. Just the presentation style is different. So this is called hire purchase. Sir, can EMI could be treated as hire purchase? EMI could be treated as hire purchase, beta. Just one thing should be there. There must be a logic behind this, that the ownership will be transferred only and only when full payment is made. In that case, it is hire purchase. If ownership is transferred at the first instance, then it is called installment system. Then there is another name which we will discuss within few minutes. Not even within few minutes, within few hours. This is also given in Law Sales of Goods Act. Okay, beta, very good. Sir, repossession means vendor take back the possession of goods. Exactly, beta. Sir, can we say download payment as cash price? No, beta. down payment, I am saying, note it is download payment beta. Down payment is not the cash price. What meant for the cash price is, let's understand this thing. A has gone to B to purchase a car. B is the seller, A is the purchaser. A tell him that I am interested to purchase a car. B has given him a price. The price of car is rupees 10 lakhs. Now A says, I am not able to make the payment in one go. Just allow me to make the payment in installments. I am interested to purchase it. Now B says, okay, no problem. I'll give it to you. I will give a right to you. I will give this car to you, and you have to make the payment in installments or EMIs. That is not a problem. But in that case, I will charge interest at the rate of 10% per annum from you. Means B, means A. So B will charge interest at the rate of 10% per annum from A. In that case, obviously payment will not be 10 lakh. Assume interest of rupees 2 lakh is added in it, and the total value becomes 12 lakh, which is to be paid in installments. So this is called cash price, which is to be paid if payment is made in one go. This 2 lakh is the interest, which is to be paid due to the reason that I am making the payment in installments. And this is HP price, higher purchase price, higher purchase price. This is 12 lakh, which is to be paid in installments. Now, how it is to be paid? This 12 lakh is to be paid as down payment of rupees 2 lakhs that has been decided at the time of purchase and sale. The 2 lakh is to be paid at the time of beginning. Remaining 10 lakh is to be paid in installments. And that installments will be, assume it will be 20,000 per month into 50 months. So it will be 10 lakh. So this is all decided at the time of sale. Now this will be assumed as down payment, and this 10 lakh will be paid in installments. These are the EMIs which are to be paid every month. If in any month he doesn't make the payment, obviously in that case B will acquire the goods back, B will acquire the car, and nothing will be paid to A. Note it down with you, beta. Whatever we have discussed, please note it down. How hire purchase is different from credit sale and leasing. In hire purchase and credit sale, there's a big difference. In credit sale, we are transferring the ownership at the time of sale. But in hire purchase, seller means B doesn't transfer the ownership to A. Ownership remains with the B. When all the installments are paid, only then the ownership will be transferred to A. In case of credit sale, your vendor has no right to acquire the goods back. He can just claim the payment by suing him in the court. But in case of hire purchase, vendor has full right to take back the goods, to repossess the goods. Cash price is equal to principal amount. Exactly right, beta. Cash price is equal to principal amount. Clear, sir. Very good, beta. You have noted down. I have assumed, because I have to go to the next page. Now there are various ways of calculating interest, of calculating these prices. So cash price is clear. If payment is to be made in one go at the time of purchase, then it is called cash price. we have assumed that this is 12 lakh. In the given case, it is 12 lakh. Out of that, how much it was? Just a moment. Okay, car is of rupees 10 lakh. 2 lakh was the interest. So cash price in the given case is 10 lakh. Now, higher purchase price is what? Higher purchase price is meant for down payment plus higher purchase price of all installments or EMIs. So if you total both of them, that is 2 lakh is the down payment in the given case, and 20,000 per month is the EMI, is the HP price of the installment. 20,000 into 50 installments. So it becomes 12 lakhs. Another way of presentation is higher purchase price is equal to cash price plus interest. Another way is equal to higher purchase price. So another, we have to discuss cash price. What I meant for the cash price? Cash price is equal to down payment plus cash price of every installment or all installments. Cash price of all installments. You can say better word is all installments. What it means for down payment is 2 lakh in the given case plus. Now, what is the cash price of all installments? This is the HP price of installment, because HP price means for the cash price plus interest that we have added already. Now, how to get the CP price of installments? That is the most important thing, because if CP is not given to you, we have to calculate it. If HP is not given to you, we have to calculate it. If interest is not given, beta, we have to calculate it. So we have to calculate all these things because we need all these things for the purpose of doing the question. So CP of all installments we require. Now this can be calculated by doing this thing, HP of installments minus interest. So it all depends how to get it. Major thing is, which is to be clear to everyone, that the big difference between HP price and CP price is interest. What is interest? Total interest is equal to HP price minus CP of goods. Whatever the asset you have acquired, whatever is the CP price of it, what is the HP price of it, get the difference out of it. Whatever is the difference, that is called interest. Let's come to the point. Method of recording. Now I assume that you have understood all the terms. These are the terms which you have to understand. One is possession, second one is down payment, third one is repossession, fourth one is hire vendor, fifth is hire purchaser, and sixth is cash price. I assume everything is clear. Please tell me. Coming to method of recording. Now there are two methods of recording which you have to understand. First of all, cash price method. Cash price method is an important method. In this, asset is debited with cash price. Whatever is the total cash price of goods, we have to debit it. We have to debit our asset with that amount. Like in the given example, it will be with rupees 10 lakhs. In the given example, it is 10 lakhs, means interest will not be included in it. We have to assume that the asset has been purchased by us and the value of the asset is the cash price, whatever we have to pay at the time if it is to be purchased in one go. There are some terms in it which are to be understood only if I will make it more and more clear to you. So due to that reason, I am trying to clear you from every angle. Now, down payment is fully adjusted toward cash price in this case. Second method is interest suspense method, which we will do later on. In this case, buyer debits the asset with total cash price at the time of signing the agreement. And total interest, that is HP price minus CP price, is transferred to interest suspense account at the time of signing the agreement. That we will understand later on. This method will be discussed later on. First of all, we will go for the cash price method, which is used in case of hire purchase business. In buyer's books, we have to understand this. You will have to write it down in your copies. You should have a copy with you. You should have a pen with you. We have to write the journal entries. If you will write the journal entries, you will be able to apply it in your questions. If you will not note it down, then obviously you will not be able to do it in your exams. So let's note it down in your copies. Don't see from the module and tick it. That is not required. You can only clear CA exams if you are preparing your notes, if you are doing more and more questions by your own hands, you are doing more and more practice, you are trying to understand the concept and applying those concepts practically. So buyer's books are there. Student is interested to understand it in Hindi once. Which concept beta you are interested to understand in Hindi? अमित यादव, कौन सा कंसेप्ट आप हिंदी में जानना चाहोगे? मुझे बताओगे तो मैं हेल्प कर दूंगा आपकी. In hire purchase, consideration for vendor is interest. No beta. Aditi, in hire purchase, consideration for vendor is not only the interest. He is also earning profit, because cash price doesn't mean for cost price. I have mentioned you that he is selling the goods for rupees 10 lakh if payment is made in one go. That means for he also have a profit included in that cash price. Cash price doesn't mean for cost price to the vendor. Cash price means for the selling price of the vendor if payment is received in one go. So cash price also includes the profit. And in case payment is made in installments, then obviously he will get more amount. He will get extra amount that is called interest, that will also become part of his earnings, that will also become part of his profit beta. So he will have double profit in that case. सर हम बायर सेलर दोनों की बुक्स बनानी है और ओनली बायर वन. बेटा डोंट वरी, जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच. Everything is to be done. Buyer books is also required, seller books is also required. Example sir. Okay बेटा, let's understand this example in Hindi once. एक बच्चे ने स्पेशली पूछा है कि बेटा हायर परचेज प्राइस क्या होता है? हायर परचेज प्राइस होता है जिसमें हमने कैश प्राइस में जब हम इंटरेस्ट ऐड कर देते हैं तो उसको हम हायर परचेज प्राइस कहते हैं. जैसे इस एग्जांपल में मैंने लिया है कि एक बी के पास ए आता है कि मुझे एक कार परचेज करनी है. कार का जो प्राइस है वो 10 लाख रुपीज है. अब कार 10 लाख की है, बट ए कह रहा है कि देखो मैं पेमेंट इंस्टॉलमेंट में करूंगा, इकट्ठी पेमेंट नहीं कर सकता. अब बी तो अगर वन गो में पेमेंट लेता है तभी सिर्फ इंस्टॉलमेंट की, तभी सिर्फ 10 लाख लेता है. बट अगर पेमेंट इंस्टॉलमेंट में आएगी तो वो कहता है मैं 10 लाख नहीं लूंगा, मैं ज्यादा पेमेंट लूंगा. तो उस केस में जो एक्स्ट्रा पेमेंट वो लेगा उसको कहा जाता है इंटरेस्ट. जैसे इस केस में बड़ा क्लियर किया गया है कि इंटरेस्ट चार्ज किया जाएगा इस पे 10% पर एनम अगर पेमेंट इंस्टॉलमेंट में आती है. तो 10 लाख रुपीज तो उसका कैश प्राइस है ही है. 10 लाख के अलावा 2 लाख रुपीज उसको एक्स्ट्रा मिलेंगे इंटरेस्ट के. ये कैलकुलेट किया जाता है, सारा इंटरेस्ट को कैलकुलेट किया जाएगा. मैंने जस्ट एक असम्पशन ली. तो टोटल 12 लाख रुपीज उस केस में प्राइस हो जाएगा. इंस्टेड ऑफ 10 इट विल बी 12. आप किसी बैंक में लोन लेने चले जाओ, कोई कार परचेज करने चले जाओ, वहां पर क्या होता है कि आप उनको कहते हो कि मुझे कार परचेज करनी है इंस्टॉलमेंट्स पे, तो कहते हैं वैसे तो कार का जो प्राइस है हमारा 10 लाख है, लेकिन अगर आप इंस्टॉलमेंट में परचेज करोगे तो उस केस में इतनी पेमेंट आपकी होगी पर मंथ. उसे मल्टीप्लाई करके बिल्कुल इसी तरह से जैसे मैंने करके दिखाया वो आपको बता देते हैं कि आपको 12 लाख रुपीज टोटल देना है. जिसमें से 2 लाख रुपीज आपका पे करोगे डाउन पेमेंट पे, और उसके बाद बाकी पेमेंट आपकी 20,000 पर मंथ की इंस्टॉलमेंट्स बनाएंगे हम, जो कि 50 इंस्टॉलमेंट्स होंगी। तो आपको 10 लाख रुपीज इंस्टॉलमेंट में भी देना है। सो हाउ मच विल बी द टोटल पेमेंट यू हैव टू मेक? 12 लाख रुपीज, 12 लाख रुपए आपको देना है। जबकि अगर आप कार कैश प्राइस पे परचेज करते हो, इमीडिएट पेमेंट करते हो, तो सिर्फ 10 लाख रुपीज देना पड़ेगा। सो दिस इज कैश प्राइस एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड एचपी प्राइस। इसको मैंने एक्सप्लेन करने की कोशिश की है कि जो एचपी प्राइस है, ये एचपी प्राइस में क्या क्या आता है, अगर हमें कभी कैलकुलेट करना पड़ जाए। तो इसमें एक तो डाउन पेमेंट आ गई, एक इसमें एचपी प्राइस ऑफ ऑल इंस्टॉलमेंट्स आ गया, जितने भी इंस्टॉलमेंट्स हैं उन सभी का एचपी प्राइस जो है वो ऐड कर लो, तो यू विल गेट द टोटल एचपी प्राइस। तो इसका मतलब ये हो गया, एचपी प्राइस के कई मीनिंग निकल रहे हैं। एक तो ऐसे निकल सकता है एचपी प्राइस, दूसरा एचपी प्राइस को कैसे निकाल सकते हैं हम लोग सीपी में कैश प्राइस में इंटरेस्ट ऐड कर देंगे, तो भी आपका एचपी प्राइस आ जाएगा। और अगर हमने सीपी निकालना हो, कैश प्राइस निकालना हो, गिवन नहीं है क्वेश्चन में, तो कई तरह से निकाल सकते हैं। जैसे एचपी में से इंटरेस्ट माइनस कर दोगे तो सीपी आ जाएगा, या फिर हम लोग डाउन पेमेंट ले लेते हैं, बिकॉज डाउन पेमेंट तो हमेशा सीपी का पार्ट ही होती है। डाउन पेमेंट में तो इंटरेस्ट इंक्लूडेड नहीं होता कभी भी, क्योंकि डाउन पेमेंट तो हम लोग शुरू में पे करते हैं, तो जो शुरू में पेमेंट कर रहे हैं उसमें इंटरेस्ट इंक्लूडेड नहीं होता। तो डाउन पेमेंट तो सेम रहेगी, चाहे आपने एचपी प्राइस निकालना हो, चाहे आपने सीपी प्राइस निकालना हो। डाउन पेमेंट में अगर आप सीपी प्राइस ऑफ ऑल इंस्टॉलमेंट्स ऐड कर देते हो, मींस इंस्टॉलमेंट का प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट और इंटरेस्ट अलग अलग कर दो, जो उसमें प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट है वो आप सीपी प्राइस के लिए अगर ऐड कर लोगे तो यू विल गेट इट। बाकी इसको हम करेंगे क्वेश्चंस में, एग्जांपल्स में, तो यू विल अंडरस्टैंड इट बेटा। सर, कैन वी से दैट हायर परचेज प्राइस इज इंक्लूसिव of interest and cash price is excluded interest? Exactly right, Akanshil. Higher purchase price means for the price inclusive of interest, and cash price is the price exclusive of interest. Very good. Let's come to the buyer's books. Now you have to forget for some time that this is a hire purchase chapter. You have to just assume that I am purchasing goods. I am a simple purchaser. Then how entries will be passed? Don't assume that you are a hire purchaser. Just you have to write a word hire with you, but don't keep it into your mind that this is something technical. This will be very easy if you will assume it easy. So let's understand it. In buyer's books, buyer will take an assumption that he is purchasing the goods and the payment will be made in installments only, nothing else. And he will assume that if I am purchasing the goods, I am going to become the owner of the goods immediately when the goods are purchased, because he will never keep it into his mind that I am going to delay the payment, I am going to stop making the payment, because if you stop making the payment, obviously goods will be taken over by the vendor. So if goods will be taken over by the vendor, it will be a big loss to the purchaser. So purchaser will never assume in his mind. So purchaser will always assume in his mind that I am acquiring the goods and I am going to become the owner of the goods. Even ownership is not transferred to him, but he will assume himself as an owner. So when asset is purchased on higher purchase basis, he will assume that I have purchased an asset. Obviously, when goods are purchased, what I am assuming? I am assuming it as my asset, because this is not my business to purchase the goods and sell them. If I'm purchasing the goods and selling them, then obviously I will not purchase them on higher purchase basis. Normally, higher purchase purchase is made for big assets. Like if I'm a taxi operator, then I will purchase taxis on higher purchase. If I am a resident, if I am a normal person, I am purchasing car on higher purchase. I am purchasing pickup van. I am purchasing some machinery on higher purchase. So all that is one, and that will be my asset, not my goods. So what entry I will pass? I will pass asset account debit to vendor. Asset account debit to vendor. But while using the word vendor, you have to write higher vendor only. Like we have purchased goods from B, so the entry will be car account debit to B, not higher B. Just it is a way of presentation. The entry will be very simple. I have purchased an asset from B, just like on credit sale. Same entry I have to make. If I am purchasing some asset on credit, what will be the entry? Asset account debit to the creditor. So asset account debit to creditor means hire vendor. But the most important point is that we have to pass this entry with cash price only, because interest is a period based expense. It cannot be entered in one go. It will be due, it will be entered in the books only and only when it is due. It is an expense and it is a revenue expense. Revenue expense is entered in the books only on period basis. So when we are purchasing the asset, at that time there is no interest due at that time. So due to that reason, we have to pass this entry at cash price only with rupees 10 lakh only. In the given case, we have to pass an entry car account debit to be for rupees 10 lakh. Immediately, we have to make some down payment. If we are making payment to our creditor, what will be the entry? What will be the entry, beta? Creditor account debit to bank ya cash. So that entry will be passed. Creditor means hire vendor. Hire vendor account debit to cash oblique bank. Like in the given case, it will be rupees 2 lakhs. B account debit to bank or to cash with rupees 2 lakhs. Now, whenever installment is to be paid, obviously interest will also be entered in that case, because interest will become due, because installment will be paid after adding interest. So interest will become due. Interest may become due if payment is made in installments, and that will be the annual installment. Installment may be annual, installment may be half yearly, installment may be monthly. This all depends upon our understanding. That is the arrangement, that is the agreement between the purchaser and the seller. So if payment is to be made at the end of each year, then interest will become due at the end of each year. If payment is to be made at the end of every quarter or every month or every half year, then interest will due accordingly. Then the interest will be passed accordingly, beta. What will be the entry for making interest due to the vendor? Creditor account debit, because interest is an expense, so expense is always debited. So interest we have to pay, interest will become expense. Interest account debit to creditor account, because this will be due to creditor. Interest account debit to vendor account. Very simple entry. But this interest will be the only that interest which is due on that particular installment. Interest will due according to every installment. Whatever the interest we have to pay in that installment, that will become due, because interest, I have already mentioned you, it is a period expense. It will be entered on period basis. For the payment of first installment, simple entry like down payment, vendor account debit to bank. Now this amount will include only the installment amount, and that installment will be the HP price of installment, not cash price of installment. Like in the given case, it is 20,000 rupees per month. Because in the given case, we have discussed that the HP price of installment is 20,000. We have discussed that HP price of the installment is 20,000 beta. So this 20,000 will be the amount for this entry, vendor account debit to bank. Then obviously, if installment is to be paid every month, then two entries will be repeated every month. One is interest due at the end of every month, interest account debit to vendor account, and then when installment is paid, vendor account debit to bank. It will be a continuous entry beta. Every month we have to pass it. If it is to be paid at the end of every quarter, then we have to pass 4 entries of interest due and pass 4 entries of payment to vendor during the year. Accordingly, it will be, if it is half yearly, then 2, if it is yearly, then only 1 entry each. Now at the end of the year, depreciation is to be charged, because this is our asset. And if it is our asset in our books of accounts, then obviously we have to charge depreciation on it. Now, what will be the entry for depreciation that is well known to all of you? Depreciation account debit to asset account. Very good, beta. Very good. Very good. Now, whatever is the total interest and depreciation for full year, that will be transferred, that will be written off to P&L account. So P&L account debit to interest to depreciation, beta. Very simple. Interest will be written off at the end of the year in one go in P&L account. If we have paid monthly installment, then obviously 12 entries of interest due, 12 entries of installment payment will be there. But to transfer interest to P&L account, we have to pass only one entry at the end of the year, because you must have to understand this thing, that we have to write off all our expenses. We have to transfer all our expenses to profit or loss account at the end of the year only. So this entry will be passed only at the end of the year, beta. Simultaneously, how to disclose it in the balance sheet? In the balance sheet, we have a heading, we have a head named fixed assets. It will be shown as our asset at cash price, not at the HP price, beta. Less depreciation, whatever is the depreciation that has to be deducted, and the balance amount will be shown there. Creditor, higher purchase creditor will be shown with the balance in higher vendor account. You have to prepare higher vendor account. So whatever is the amount in higher vendor account, that will be shown in higher purchase creditor account. In this, installment due and installment not yet due, there will be two amounts, and the total amount will be shown there. So this all will be understood only when we will do it in practical question. Is that clear, beta? Let's first of all understand this thing, that all journal entries of hire purchaser is clear or not, beta? Is that clear? If it is clear, then you have 5 minutes with you. We have to pass all the entries in the given case. I'm just passing it for you in rough, not in fear, just for your understanding. First entry is in the books of, these entry will be passed in the books of A, that is purchaser. So what will be the first entry, beta? First entry will be when an asset is purchased on hire purchase system. Then entry will be asset account debit, means in this case car account debit to B, 4 rupees 10 lakhs. नरेशन लिखना जरूरी है, must write the narration being car purchased on hire purchase basis. Then second entry will be regarding down payment. So B account debit to bank, because 2 lakh rupees can be paid through bank only. Not more than even 10,000 rupees, not more than 10,000 rupees can be paid by cash now at time. So B to bank being down payment made, down payment paid. Then interest become due. Assume interest becomes due at the end of every month. So 10% per annum is the interest rate that is given to you. So how to get the interest? That I am doing for you. Interest. First month. This is months. So at the end of the first month, it is 10 lakh which is outstanding. Why it is 8 lakhs, sorry. I would like to prepare a table for you. It will be easy. months opening, cash price opening, then interest, then installment. चलो कैश प्राइस क्लोजिंग निकाल लेते हैं, कैश प्राइस क्लोजिंग. So first month, this is rupees 8 lakhs. At the end of first month, we have to check how much is outstanding. 10 minus 2, because 10 lakh was outstanding, out of which 2 lakh has already been paid. So 8 lakh is outstanding. So 8 lakh into 10% per annum into 1 by 12. So this will be the interest which is due. How much it is? I will show all the pages once again for you so that you can note down the journal entries also and also note down the disclosure. Don't worry. Just give me 1 minute. You may do one thing. First of all, understand this concept, then we will come back to that. So this is 8 lakh into 10% into 1 by 12. So it is 80,000 divided by 12. Interest is 6667. So how much is the amount which is to be paid? That is 20,000 per month. So 8 lakh minus, we have to pay 20,000 minus 6667. So this is closing cash price. It will be tough to some extent, right? Just wait. I would like to make it easy for you because it is tough. Let's make it easy. To make it easy, you have to prepare. To make it easy, you have to prepare only the higher vendor account in your books, means B's accounts. This is B's account, date, particular, amount, date, particular, amount. This is B's account in the books of A. So when the asset is purchased, he will pass an entry, asset account debit, car account debit to B. So just assume it is 1st of April. He will pass an entry, buy car, 10 lakh. Then he will make a down payment of 2 lakhs on 1st of April on the same date to bank, 2 lakhs. Next is he will have to calculate interest. Assume interest is paid annually because it will be easy to understand in that case. It is somehow tough yet, but I would like to make it easy for you. Later on, we will understand it in more detail. First step is we should have to understand it as an annual interest. So when interest will be charged, will be calculated, it will be on 31st of March by interest. It will be 8 lakh into 10%. How much it is, beta? It will be 80,000. Then we have to make payment of installments to bank. Whatever is the installment, just assume the installment is 2,40,000 rupees per annum because 20,000 per month was there, na? As it was 20,000 per month. So I will assume it is 20,000 into 12. It is 2,40,000 because I would like to let it be easy for you in the beginning. Later on, when we will understand the concept, we can do it very easily. On 31st of March, I have made the payment of 2,40,000. It doesn't have any consideration that how much interest is included in it. That is not a problem. We have to calculate the closing balance. to balance carried down. It is 10 lakh 80,000 minus 2 lakh 4 lakh 40,000. It will be 6 lakh 40,000 on 31st of March. Then on 1st of April next year, again by balance brought down. It will be 6 lakh 40,000 beta, and interest will be calculated at the end of the year 31st of March by interest 6 lakh 40,000 beta into 10%. It is 64,000 beta. At the end of the year, we have to make payment of installment to bank. Again, 2 lakh 40,000 is the installment. Get the balance to balance carry down. It will be 7 lakh 4,000 minus 2 lakh 40,000. 7 lakh 4,000 minus whatever is the balance that you have to calculate. Okay, in this way you can easily get the interest. So entries are very simple. B2 bank. Then when the installment is paid, when the interest is due, the entry is with you. B2 interest to B. Interest account debit to B's account with rupees 80,000 beta. Then fourth entry, when installment is paid, entry is very simple. B account debit to bank. That is 2 lakh 40,000. Then we have to charge a depreciation, whatever is the depreciation rate, depreciation account debit to asset, whatever is the interest and depreciation during the year, that will be written off to P&L account. So this is the entry of 1 year. In the same way, entries of next year will continue. Is that clear, beta? Now tell me the doubts if there is any. Sujal, 10 lakh is not outstanding beta. Outstanding amount will be calculated after deducting down payment only. Actually, interest is not yet due. In the previous page, you have seen that our cash price is 10 lakh. Our cash price is 10 lakh only. 2 lakh is the interest. Interest will not be debited to vendor in one go. It will be debited only when it is due. So it will be calculated and due. By car account, you have purchased the car for rupees 10 lakh only. Then interest become due for the first year. It is 80,000 rupees. We have to charge it to bank. We have to make payment of down payment. Obviously, when outstanding amount is to be calculated, it will be 10 lakh minus 2 lakh because down payment is to be deducted. It is paid in one at the first instance. So it will be deducted. No interest will be charged on down payment. So due to that reason, I have taken 8 lakh beta. Very good. 4 lakh 64,000 is the balance. Yes, sir. This method is easy. Got it now. Very good, beta. Please explain how this 2 lakh 40,000. Just beta, I have taken an assumption because this is not a proper question. I am just taking an assumption that I am making payment of 20,000 per month. So question was somehow tough if I'll take it monthly because every month you have to calculate the interest. Every month you have to make the payment of installment. It will be very tough in that case because yet you are not able to do it. So I have made it annually. I have just assumed it that payment is not to be made monthly. It is to be paid annually, 2 lakh 40,000 per annum. Just I have changed the assumption. I have not taken the assumption of 20,000 per month. I have taken the assumption of 2 lakh 40,000 per annum. Means in a year we have to make only one payment of installment, and that installment will be paid of rupees 2 lakh 40,000. That I have assumed, beta. Please explain down payment amount, sir. Down payment amount is also, it is given to us that down payment will be paid for rupees 2 lakh when the asset will be purchased. So if down payment is to be paid 2 lakh, then out of 10 lakhs, total cash price, 2 lakh will be deducted to get the outstanding balance of cash price. So how much is outstanding beta cash price? That is 8 lakh. Is that clear? You may do one thing. First of all, you will have to write journal entries, as number of students were interested to uh, write down the journal entries. So that is with you. You may note it down or take a screenshot of it. Better a screenshot ले लीजिए. Sir, shouldn't we add interest to the installment each year? It may be added if he, Himashrim is asking, Miss Himashrim, we should have to understand this thing. If cash price of installment is given, then you have to add interest in it for calculating HP price of installment. Actually, installment will be paid after adding interest in cash price, because installment is always HP price. Installment is not at cash price. But in case already the price given to you is HP price of installment, then there's no worry. This 2,40,000 is including interest that I have assumed. Let's wait. When we will see the question, we will understand each and everything better. No worry. Take the screenshot of this also. So in down payment, it doesn't include interest, sir. Down payment never includes interest, because down payment is a payment made at the first instance. And when we are making payment at the first instance means we have purchased an asset on 1st of April and payment is made immediately at that time. So interest is always a period expense. So no period is lagged, no period is expired. Due to that reason, no interest will be the part of down payment. So down payment, immediate payment paid at higher purchase, sir. Yes, exactly, beta. Have you taken the screenshot of it? Disclosure. Take the screenshot of it also. This is a disclosure in the balance sheet. Take the screenshot of it also, beta. Just understand the entries first. Then we will come to the questions. I would like to read statements for you. Then you will better understand it, because the example taken by me doesn't include a statement. Due to that reason, you are worried to some extent. Don't worry. Just wait and watch. Every concept is clear. Thank you. Very good. Thank you to you, because you have made it possible. If you are not clear, then I am unable to explain anything. Vendors books. In vendors books, entries will be with the assumption that I am selling the goods as a normal seller. I am not selling the goods as a different type of seller. So the entries will be simple. When goods are sold on hire purchase basis, simple entry is there. Whenever we are selling goods to any person, then what is the entry? Creditor account debit to sales. So the entry is same. Creditor means hire purchaser here. Like in this case, A is the hire purchaser. To hire sales, that is simple. To sales, we have to define it by the word hire sales. So A to hire sales. Entry is very simple. A account debit to hire sales with how much amount? With the cash price. This is always with cash price. Note it down with you. Here it is not mentioned. Hire purchase account will be debited with cash price only, because interest is again a period income. In this case, interest is an income, but it is a period income. So sales is ultimately closed to which account? Is always transferred to which account? Trading account. So in this case also, that's this sale will also go to trading account. There's no difference between normal sale and higher sale. This is just a description which has been added to it. Then DP, when DP is received, obviously simple entry is there. Bank account debit to A, 2 lakh rupees. When interest is due, obviously it is an income for us and we have to charge this interest from A. Entry will be very simple. A account debit to interest account. Interest is our income. It is to be credited, and A is our debtor. In this case, A will be debited. So A account debit to interest account. That's it. Take screenshot of it, beta. Interest is included in installment. Then why an additional entry, sir? All incomes and expenses are to be entered in the books of accounts. That is a rule. Basically, I would like to let it be clear. Just understand this thing, with how much amount we have made our hire purchaser due. In the given case, one and the same thing, if you will see the entries of vendor and purchaser one and the same thing. It is just vice versa. Just the simple thing is there, purchaser assumed it as his asset, and vendor assume it as its business, hence assume it as its goods. Now in this case we have debited purchaser with rupees 10 lakh only. We have debited purchaser with rupees 10 lakh only. We have now debited him with rupees 12 lakh. Whereas the price in this case is, query is, first of all understand the query. The query asked by a student is, interest is included in installment. Why an additional entry, sir? Why interest entry is made? Beta, let it be clear. In the given case, you should have to understand this thing, that first entry is passed with how much amount? 10 lakh rupees. But how much we have to get? Total amount we have to get is 12 lakh rupees. If we'll see that how much amount we have to receive, we have to receive 2 lakh plus 10 lakh. It is 12 lakh. But how much amount we have debited? That is 10 lakh. How much amount is credited to be? 10 lakh. So remaining 2 lakh is interest which will be entered in the books when it will become due. So due to that reason, interest entry will be passed whenever it become due in installments. So first of all, out of 2 lakh, 80,000 is due at the end of first year. This entry is passed. Interest account debit to B. Next year, 64,000 is due. So entry will be interest to be 64,000. Obviously, in the third year, again, some interest will become due. In the fourth year, again, interest will become due. Total interest will be 2 lakh in all the period, in the complete period that we are assuming. In not in the given case, because in this case, I have just taken an assumption. But when we will do the question, it will be okay. So I assume that you have taken the screenshot of these three entries. Interest in the last installment may be different due to the reason of some calculation. It may happen that interest will be different, that we will do practically. You may just note it down with you. We will understand it later on. So when installment is received, entry is very simple: bank account debit to A. When the interest and depreciation is transferred to no depreciation, because here there will be no depreciation at all, because this is not our asset. So interest income is there, that will be transferred to P&L account. Entry is interest account debit to profit or loss account, beta. Now entries third to fifth will be repeated in subsequent years, because third entry is regarding your interest due, fourth is regarding installment received, and fifth is regarding interest transferred to P&L account. This will repeat again and again. First two entries are made only at the in the first year only. So these entries will be repeated again and again. Better note it down. So suppose I purchase a asset worth rupees 10 lakh, make down payment of 2 lakh. Now balance amount to be paid in installments is 8 lakh. Now every year I will pay certain amount as installments, which may include interest in that yearly installment. Suppose every year I pay 1 lakh plus interest. I will pay, right sir? Exactly beta, you will pay 1 lakh plus interest. After this, we will do illustration number 6 after the break. So I am going on a break for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we will be back and you will learn very important concept. अब तक जो सीखा है उससे काफी एडवांस सीखने वाले हैं आने वाले टाइम में. ब्रेक के बाद आप सभी प्रेजेंट रहना. हम लोग कई एडवांस चीजें आज कवर करेंगे जो कि अदरवाइज आपकी कवर नहीं हो सकती. सो वी विल गो फॉर द एडवांस टॉपिक्स इन ए वेरी इजी मैनर दैट वी विल कवर. आई अश्योर यू कि आज आप लोग जो चैप्टर कवर कर रहे हो इसका 5 मार्क्स कम से कम आज ही कवर हो जाए. 50% से ज्यादा चैप्टर आज कवर हो जाएगा और दैट विल बी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. ओके, आफ्टर द ब्रेक. सर ब्रेक ले. Hello. So after these entries, what we have to do now? In this session, after the break, we will do the practical questions. So come to illustration number 6 of your module beta. Illustration number 6 of your module. Yes, this is a complete question which you can understand better. On January 1st, 2011, HP acquired a pickup van on hire purchase from FM. The term of the contract were as follow. So we have acquired a pickup van. Means who's the purchaser here? HP. And who's the seller? FM. Cash price of the van was 1 lakh. So this is the cash price to be made, the payment to be made in one go. 40,000 is the down payment. Balance was to be paid in 20,000 plus interest. So in this case, the HP price of installment is not given to us. We have been given only the cash price of installment, that is 20,000 rupees cash price of installment. To calculate the HP price of installment, you have to add interest beta, because HP price of installment is equal to cash price of installment plus interest. How to get the interest? He says interest will be charged at the rate of 6% per annum on the outstanding balance. Because there is an annual installment, so interest can be calculated easily. If it is half yearly interest, if it has been mentioned that installment is to be paid half yearly and interest rate is 6% per annum, you may take 3% interest, because 6% into 6 by 12, it will be 3% for half year. In case it is quarterly installment, you may take 1.5% per quarter as an interest. So you may mold according to the requirement. In the given case, it will be very easy because installments are annual installments, so there is no worry. So there is no worry. Here it is 20,000 per annum plus interest. Depreciation rate is 10% on written down value method. No, on straight line method. Is to be written off using a straight line method. So you have to pass journal entries, show the relevant items in the balance sheet in the books of HP. So if it is in the books of HP, that is purchaser, it will be done. Let's understand this comparatively very easy illustration. We'd like to discuss the entries, and you will have to speak it out. You have to send it to me. Let's start. In the books of purchaser, what will be the first entry? Don't see the solution. Tell me what will be the first entry. Journal entries. In the books of HP. Calculation of interest. That is also to be done. It may be in working note That will be better, or you may give it in step 1. It is up to your choice. So first entry will be presentation is very good in your module. So for this, you will have to check only the module. Here we are just trying to understand the concept. So we have purchased an asset pickup van. So entry will be pickup van account debit. Pickup van account debit 1 lakh to FM 1 lakh. First entry. Second entry will be down payment is made. FM debit to bank. Down payment of how much amount is paid? It is 40,000. So entry is very simple, 40,000. It doesn't include any interest because this is down payment. Third entry is regarding interest due at the end of the year, because this entry was to be made at on 31st of December 2011. These two entries are on 1st of January. Then on 31st of December, you have to pass an entry for making an interest due on it. How interest is to be calculated? So it is year, this is amount, this is interest. First year. So opening balance is 1 lakh. This is cash price minus down payment 40,000. So balance is 60,000 at the end of first year. So interest will be calculated on it. Rate of interest is 6% per annum. Beta, it will be 3,600. Any doubt to anyone? End of first year, it will be 3,600. Now, how much will be the amount to be paid? Obviously, interest will be added in the price, outstanding amount. So total amount is payable at the end of first year is 63,600, out of which installment is to be paid. First installment will be of rupees 20,000, that is CP, plus 3,600, that is interest. So total payment is 23,600. It is given in your module. He says the balance was to be paid in annual installments of rupees 20,000 plus interest. So this means for here you have to calculate the installment in this way, that you have to add interest in the installment, because this 20,000 is cash price in this given case, because it doesn't include interest. After adding interest, it will become HP price of installment. So balance will be 40,000. Accordingly, entries will be passed. Entry will be very simple. With a FM to bank, first and second entry was there. Third entry is we have to do interest. So interest account debit to FM. It is 3,600. Whatever is the interest at the end of the year, 31st December. Then installment will be paid. FM debit to bank. It is 23,600 beta. Very good, very good. Why not taking financial year? Manisha Goyal, this is according to the question. Actually, module questions required to be changed because dates are not good in this case. But obviously we have to go as per the question given to us. So due to that reason, we are doing it. So is that clear? Now how to get the interest for the second year? Let's do it. 40,000 is the opening balance. Next year, interest will be calculated on this amount. So 40,000 into 6%, it is equal to 2,400. So that will be added in it. Total amount due is 42,400. Now, second installment is 20,000 plus 2,400. So it will be 22,400 which you have to pay, and balance is 20,000 at the for the third year. So again, interest is to be calculated third year. That will be 1,200, which is to be added in it. It will become 21,200, and obviously in third year we have to pay installment of 20,000 plus 1,200. It is 21,200. So balance is 0. Fifth entry is regarding depreciation, which is to be made at the end of every year. Depreciation account debit to asset account to pick up van account. So what is the rate of depreciation? It is 10%. It will be always on cash price. Depreciation is always calculated on cash price. Note it down with you, beta. Depreciation is always calculated on cash price. This is 1 lakh rupees. Cash price is 1 lakh rupees. So depreciation will be 10% on this. It is 10,000, beta. Take a screenshot of it so that we can proceed to the next page. I'm not giving you the presentation. I'm just giving you the way of solving the question yet, because presentation is most important in examination. Lekin presentation is required only when you know how to solve it, when you understand what is the logic behind the question. So I'm giving you the solution first, then we will come to the logic also. We will come to the presentation part also. That is also very important, because this is the first question which we are doing, and in first question we are not considering the presentation, we are considering the logic behind the question, concept behind the question, beta. Assuming you have taken the screenshot or you have noted it down, I'm going to the next page within next 1 minute. Do it fast, beta. Next entry, you must have to speak yourself now. What should be the next entry? Send me. What will be the next entry? Fast जिन्होंने कर लिया वो आगे चलो और बताओ कि next entry क्या होगी. Beta, fast. You can do it, beta. Next entry is very good. Profit or loss account debit to depreciation to interest. We have to write down interest. We have to write down depreciation. दोनों को write off कर देंगे. So this is the way how you have to present it. Also, you may see in the books of HP journal entries. You may write it in this way: journal entries in the books of HP, Messrs HP. This is written wrongly, but you have to take as it is because this is given in the question in the same way. So these entries we have already done. This is the entry which has been left, profit or loss account debit to depreciation to interest. Then from the next year, you have to pass only the entries of interest, payment of installment and depreciation, and writing of the depreciation. So these four entries will repeat in the next year. Interest account debit to FM Messrs 2400, FM Messrs to bank 2200 to 22,400, depreciation to pickup van, obviously 10,000 because this is straight line method to be used in this case. Profit loss to depreciation to interest, it will be 12,400. See here it is, interest account debit to FM Messrs account 2400, and this is the payment of installment. Then depreciation to pickup van, this is the charging of depreciation. Then we have written off depreciation and interest. Very good. In the same manner, entries for third year will be passed. Now see the ledger account in the books of HP Messrs. That is, two major accounts will be prepared. One is the asset account, second is the purchaser account. So in the asset account, entries are very simple in method. Any doubt in it? FM account is also very easy. It is helpful in calculation of interest also. If we are using this pro forma, there is no need of calculating interest separately. If you have to prepare ledger account of your vendor, then interest can be easily calculated from here also. You may see 1 lakh minus 40,000, it is 60,000 into 6%. By interest carried down is wrong. Rectify it. By interest only. By interest account you may write it. It is wrong. Rectify it. By interest account it should be. It is not by interest carried down. It is a mistake. You have to rectify it. 3,600. And then installment is 20,000 plus 3,600. It is 23,600. Balance carried down is 40,000. Then interest will be calculated in the second year on 40,000 rupees. So it is also very simple. By interest account 2,400. Because full year interest is to be calculated, that can be calculated very easily. To bank account 22,400, and then to balance carried down. So it's very simple. Another account is depreciation account. That is very easy. We know it very well how to prepare it. Depreciation account debit to pick up and buy P&L account every year. Interest account is also very easy. Interest to vendor and buy P&L. Return of every year. In balance sheet, how to present it? In balance sheet, you have to present two things which I have disclosed to you. One is the asset which is available with you. We have the asset worth rupees 1 lakh. Like here it is 90,000. How it is calculated? 1 lakh minus 10,000. 1 lakh is the cash price of asset minus depreciation of 10,000. It is 90,000 at the end of first year, 80,000 at the end of second year, and 70,000 at the end of third year. Simultaneously, whatever is the balance in your vendor account, that is shown here. You may see your vendor account. It is 40,000, 20,000, and nil. You may see it. It is given to you. This is vendor account 40,000, 40,000, and 0. So that has been shown here. Very simple and easy. Is that clear to everyone? Next point, default and repossession data. What means for default and repossession? Now we have to make payment in installments. What happened after making payment of 2 installment? I am unable to make payment of third installment. or after first installment I am unable to pay second installment, or even I am unable to pay the first installment, or even I am unable to pay the last installment. Anything may happen. If any installment is not paid, then vendor has the right to take back the goods. That is called repossession. Default meant for you are unable to make the payment, and repossession meant for goods are repossessed by back by the vendor. So repossession can be in two ways. One is complete repossession. Like in the given case, in pickup van, there is a complete repossession. There is no chance of anything else because we have only one pickup van. He can't take back only the uh, half pickup van and leave half with us. But if we have purchased three pickup vans, then there may be a chance that after mutual understanding, after mutual discussion, he may go for partial repossession. He may take back only two pickup vans and leave pickup van with us, one pickup van with us. Because if we have purchased only one car, then obviously there is a complete repossession. He is not going to leave a partial part of the car with you. He will take back the complete car. But in case there may be two or three cars I have purchased, then we may sit and finalize whatever we have to do. So there may be a chance. It is not compulsory on the part of the vendor. It is just an option with the vendor. He may take back all the goods. He may take back all the cars, or he may leave one or two cars with us and take back the remaining cars against the amount outstanding which is not paid by me, just to maintain his goodwill. And also one more thing is there, that he must not have to use force for that purpose, because if we are interested to take back goods from someone, we must have to use force also. We have to go to the police to get benefit of it, because otherwise no one is going to no one going to allow you to come to his home and pick up his car. So all that police is also required, but with mutual understanding it can be solved very easily. So there are two types of repossession. One is complete, second one is partial repossession. Beta, complete repossession. In complete repossession, hire vendor will do one thing. He will create a new account named as goods repossessed account. He will debit goods repossessed account and credit the purchaser account. Obviously, debit what comes in, credit the giver. Concept will be applied. Debit what comes in mean goods repossessed account debit. This is the goods account. This is a real account which has been debited. The name has been identified, goods repossessed account. Credit the giver. Giver is vendor. Giver is purchaser, so he will be credited. But with that amount, whatever is agreed between both of us. Normally, in case of complete repossession, it is the total value outstanding, total amount outstanding. But in case of partial repossession, it may be something different also. It will be according to the valuation made by both of us. So it will be depending upon that case. We will discuss it later on. Hire purchaser. Hire purchaser will also close his books by transferring whatever the outstanding balance of vendor, whatever the amount payable to vendor, to the debit of vendor account, hire vendor account debit to hire purchase asset account. Means he will credit asset, because now asset will not remain with him. He will have to give back the asset. So asset will be credited, and what will be debited? Purchaser will be vendor will be debited. So debit the receiver, credit what goes out. Concept will be applied. In case of partial repossession, entries will also remain the same. First entry will be same, but the value may be different, because in complete repossession, the accounts will be closed in full. But in partial repossession, accounts may continue. In case of hire purchase, in case of partial repossession, hire purchaser will also debit vendor account and credit asset account, but with the agreed value. Otherwise, in previous case, in complete repossession, he will do it with the outstanding amount. I will like to discuss it with you. No matters. Student is asking about weightage of this chapter. Minimum 5 to 15 marks question comes in from this chapter. Minimum 5 marks or 6 marks. Such type of questions we have to do yet. 5, 6 marks questions or 8 marks question we have to do. It is not yet done by us. We will do it in the next lecture, because those are assumed as a technical part, but we will do it very easily. We will do it in the next lecture. And regarding the big questions that we are doing, these will come in 10 to 15 marks in your examination. it will be of 10 marks or 12 marks or 15 marks question or even 20 marks question. So those questions we are doing. And you may see the trend of previous exams. In every exam, we are getting question from hire purchase chapter. So this is a very good chapter from examination point of view. We have to create all ledgers, or I want to create only two ledgers and balance sheet. Basically, if he says create all ledgers or prepare all ledgers, then we have to prepare all ledgers. If he is giving you specifically that prepare only hire vendor account and asset account and show it in balance sheet, whatever he is demanding, we have to do accordingly. But if he is demanding all the ledgers and balance sheet disclosure, then we have to do accordingly. So it will be according to the demand in the question. Amritpal Kaur, interest suspense method. Don't worry, beta. There are a number of other things which have been left yet because we are doing it in such a way so that it should be understandable to you. So correlation I have to make. Module is prepared in different way. Whatever I am teaching, that will be something different because I would like to let you understand each and everything in a very easy and simple manner. So wait and watch. We will do that. If agreed value is less than book value, then obviously it will go to P and L account. But we will do it practically. Then we can understand it better. So you may copy it with you. If you are interested to have a screenshot, do it. We will come to illustration number 8 later on. But before that, I would like to discuss some important points from illustration number 6 once again. You may take a screenshot of it and then come to illustration number 6. In that, we will discuss complete repossession beta. Complete repossession. Yes, in case of complete repossession, if assume in the given question, illustration number 6, what happened? Purchaser HP is unable to make payment of third installment. Just assume it. I'm taking an assumption that the purchaser HP is unable to make payment of third installment. Illustration number 6. Assume HP is unable to make payment of third installment. FM repossessed the pickup van. So FM has repossessed it. So what will be the valuation? What will be the general entries which you have to pass in this case? Let's understand it. So in this case, everything will remain same. Otherwise, like all general entries will remain same of first year, second year. In third year, what will happen? In third year, we have to pass entry of interest as same. We have to pass entry of depreciation as same. But this entry of payment will not be made. FM to bank, this entry will not be made. First entry will remain same. Interest account debit to FM, 1200 rupees. Because we have to do interest in this case. We have to charge depreciation in this case, depreciation account debit to pick up van. But this third and second entry will not remain same. And even depreciation and interest will go to P&L account. This entry will also remain same. This entry will not be there. FM account debit to bank because we have not made payment of bank. So note it down with you, beta. First, third, and fourth entry will remain same. In third year, first, third, and fourth entry will be same. Additional entry. So what will be the additional entry? Obviously, your vendor will come and repossess the goods. Assume we have not made payment on 31st of December, and on the same date, 31st of December, he has repossessed the goods. Obviously, it will vary if dates are different. So I'm first of all taking an assumption that goods are taken over on 31st of December. So when goods are taken over on 31st of December, what will be the entry? Goods taken over by the vendor, and we have to pass entry in the books of purchaser first. Who is the purchaser? HP. He will pass an entry FM Messrs debit to asset account with how much value? Now, how much amount is due to FM? Check it out. At the end of see, here it is FM account. In FM account, it is buy balance brought down 20,000 plus 1200 is the interest. Now we have not made the payment. Obviously, how much will be the outstanding amount? 21,200. How much will be the outstanding amount, beta? 21,200. This will be in the third year. Everyone is clear? $21,200, beta. So it will be debited with 21,200. Now asset will be credited with how much amount? Check it out. See, what is the balance of asset at the end of third year? At the end of third year, value of asset is 70,000. Let's understand the concept that we have only rupees 21,200 outstanding, which is payable to HP, that which is payable to FM, but we are unable to make payment of it. In that case, he will take back the pickup van from us. He will repossess the pickup van from us. Now the value of pickup van is 70,000. So it means for we are going to suffer a big loss because an asset of rupees 70,000 is taken over against rupees 21,200 only. बेटा दोबारा समझते हैं बात को कि हमारा जो एसेट है वो कितने का है. थर्ड ईयर के एंड में जब ये एसेट को रीपोजेस किया जाएगा तो हमारा जो एसेट है वो 70,000 का है, जबकि हमने पैसे कितने देने हैं, आउटस्टैंडिंग अमाउंट कितनी है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपकी आउटस्टैंडिंग अमाउंट जो है वो 21,200 है. तो 21,200 के बदले में हमें कितने रुपए का एसेट छोड़ना पड़ेगा? 70,000 रुपए का. तो ऑब्वियसली हमें एक अच्छा खासा लॉस होने वाला है यहाँ पर. तो वो जो लॉस होने वाला है वो कैसे निकलेगा, कैसे कैलकुलेट करेंगे? हम एफएम को डेबिट करेंगे उतनी अमाउंट से जो अमाउंट उसकी ड्यू है, जितने पैसे हमने उसको देने हैं, और उसके अगेंस्ट जो एसेट दे रहे हैं वो जितने का भी है उतने से एसेट को क्रेडिट कर देंगे. सो डिफरेंस विल बी अवर लॉस. जो डिफरेंस है वो हमारा लॉस हो जाएगा. Hence, FM will be debited with 21,200 and asset will be credited with 70,000. Difference will be loss. That will be loss on repossession. Debit. It will be balance sheet figure 48,800. This will be the balance sheet figure. So this will go to P&L account. Loss on repossession account debit. Loss on repossession account debit to asset account 48,800. Better check it out. Is that clear? Sir, if vendor repossess the goods back, why we charge depreciation? Better depreciation is also a time expense. It is a time period based expense. So if we have used the asset for a certain period, we must have to charge depreciation for it. It is required. if it is given in the question, prepare relevant accounts in the books of HP purchaser and in HP vendor, then we have to prepare all accounts which are affected. Yes, beta, you have to prepare all the accounts. इज दैट क्लियर बेटा? जो मैंने अभी समझाया ये क्लियर हुआ सभी को? भी बताओ मुझे। ये कंप्लीट रिपोजिशन का केस मैंने लेके इसको क्लियर करने की कोशिश करी है। इफ इट इज क्लियर, कंफर्म मी नाउ। In the next entry, we will write off this loss, profit loss account debit to loss on repossession, 48,800. Is that clear, beta? Let's understand this. Yes, sir, clear. There may be some other amount that other than 21,200 of agreed. So let's go to the another example in the same case. If it is clear, I may proceed to the next page, beta. Assume the asset is acquired not on 31st of December, but it has been acquired in the fourth year, because on 31st of December, obviously, if we have not made the payment, he will not come and acquire the asset on the same day. He may acquire the asset after 1 month, after 2 months, or after 3 months. In that case, what will happen? Assume asset acquired on 31st of January of fourth year. Then what will happen? Then obviously we will carry forward this to the next year. This will be buy balance carried down. This will be to balance brought down. Now this will buy balance carried down obviously in the same way. And here it will be to balance carried down, 21,200. It will go to the next year. Then what I will do? In the next year, in asset account, depreciation for January will be charged. Better try to understand the concepts, because I am trying to cover each and every part of your examination. So you must have to do it accordingly. This is a very good point. Depreciation for January will be charged. On which value? Obviously, opening balance for fourth year is 70,000 minus depreciation for 1 month. It will be 1 lakh into 10% into 1 by 12. How much it is? Eight three three. Yes, 833. So the value of asset will remain 69,167. Whether my calculation is correct, check it out. Simultaneously, interest will also be charged. Interest will be charged for January. On which amount? It will be charged on 21,200, whatever is the outstanding amount. Opening balance is 21,200. So interest for January will be 21,200 into 6% into 1 by 12. So get it how much it is? Waiting for your answer, beta. Get the interest. How much is the interest? 106. Good. 106. So that will be added in it. It will be 21,306 rupees, beta. So now what will be the entry? Now outstanding amount is vendor account debit, that is HP FM Messrs debit with 21,306 to pick up when with 69,167. So balance sheet figure will be loss on repossession debit. So this will be the balance sheet figure. Get it how much it is? Get it how much it is, beta? Do it with me. If you will solve questions with me, you will understand each and every concept very clearly. Get the answer. How much is the loss on repossession? So whatever it is, get it and that will be your answer. This is complete repossession which I have covered in this question. I assume that complete repossession is clear to everyone. Now I'm coming to illustration number 8 for covering your partial repossession concept, which is very important. Normally in exam, we are getting partial repossession questions. So come to illustration number 8 of your module. Very important illustration. In big question, we are getting such type of questions in your exam. It is more than 10 marks question. One thing you may also do, like we may also note it down the entries to be passed in the books of vendor in this case. In the books of vendor also you should have to pass entries in the books of vendor. So when vendor will repossess the goods, what entry he will pass? If he has repossessed the goods on 31st of December, his entry will be very simple. Goods repossessed account debit to HP Messrs. And the value will be very simple. The value at which whatever is outstanding amount with him, he is going to acquire it for rupees 21,200. This is the only amount with him. He doesn't have any amount of asset with him because he has not mentioned it in his books of accounts. So his entry is very simple. Goods repossessed account debit to HP Messrs. So this will be the amount outstanding. Yeah, amount receivable. ऐसे लिख सकते हैं. You may write it some different way. Amount due from purchaser. So whatever amount is due from purchaser, he will write it down. If it is acquired on 31st of January next year, then he will pass entry of interest in his books of accounts. HP Messrs debit 106 to interest 106. And then when he will acquire it on 31st of January, he will pass an entry goods repossessed account debit to HP Messrs. The value of 21,306 will be the amount. That's it. He doesn't have any relation with the closing balance of asset in the books of purchaser. He will not have to consider this thing. He will have to just repossess the goods against the amount due from purchaser. Whatever amount is due from purchaser, he will have to pass entry accordingly. He doesn't have any relation with that. So this is the most important point which you have to note it down in your books of accounts. Very good, beta. Now in the books of vendor also note it down. Any doubt in the books of vendor? Just tell me. Now vendor will retain these goods with him because he has repossessed back the goods. He will keep it with him, and he will resell those goods. He will resell those goods later on. So when he will resell those goods, what will be the treatment that we will do later on? Obviously, in the next lecture we will do that because that is a very good thing. In the next lecture, we will also cover various methods of calculating cash price, interest. Normally, 5 to 8 marks question comes from there, and that is assumed as a tough or technical thing, which we will cover in a very easy and simple way. Try to cover that. Also, we will cover some advanced points, advanced questions of partial repossession, which are very much important. As if 10 plus marks question comes into your exam, that is 15 marks question or 20 marks, then it will come from partial repossession. So we will today cover the basics of partial repossession. Advanced part will be covered in the next lecture. So next lecture will remain very important, and live discussion is always important. Try to see that lecture and tell others to see that lecture so that it will be beneficial for everyone. Beta. So come to partial repossession illustration number 8. X Limited purchased. Read the illustration first. How to read any question or illustration? Let's understand this. X Limited purchased. That means for X Limited is a purchaser. So it is in our mind now. 3 scooters. So 3 scooters they have purchased. Okay. From supercomputing. So he is a vendor. Costing rupees 75,000 each. This cost is for X Limited, not for the super motors. So this is basically a cash price. Let it be clear. Because when we are purchasing anything from somewhere, it is my cost. It is not the cost of super motors seller. So for seller, it is a cash price. Obviously, for me, it is a cash price as well as my cost. So 75,000 each. 75,000 into 3, it is 2,25,000 beta. On hire purchase system. So it is a question of hire purchase. Now it's clear. Payment was to be made 45,000 down out of 2,25,000. 45,000 will be paid as a down payment. So after deducting 45,000, how much will be left? 2,25,000 minus 45,000. It is 1,80,000. So balance 1,80,000 is left. 75,000 is the cost of each computer into 3. 2,25,000 is the cost cash price of 3 computers. 3 scooters. 45,000 will be paid in down payment. Balance 1,80,000 is to be paid in installments, 3 installments with interest. So every installment will be of 60,000 plus interest 9%. Either it is per month, per annum, it is not mentioned. So we will assume it as a fixed interest, which is to be added just like a per annum system. X Limited writes off depreciation at 20% on diminishing balance. So return down value method is used. Paid first installment at the end of first year. So obviously yearly installment is there. It is clear from here. So first year you have paid 60,000 plus interest also, but couldn't pay the next. So second installment is not paid. So question will close near or here to second installment. Supermotor agreed to leave 1 scooter. So out of 3 scooters, he has repossessed 2 scooters. 1 he has left with the purchaser, adjusting the value of the other 2 scooters against the amount due. So whatever amount is not paid by me, he has assumed that amount is adjusted against that. Scooters were valued on the basis of 30% depreciation annually on return on value basis. This is from the point of view of seller. Why? Because seller will not assume same rate of depreciation, whatever I am assuming. Seller is taking back the goods. He may assume that the complete goods are to be repossessed. He may acquire all the goods, but if he is leaving some goods with me, then it is all up to his choice. He may check it out that how much depreciation is to be charged, and we have to be agreed with him. We are charging depreciation at the rate of 20%, means purchaser is charging depreciation at the rate of 20%. But seller says I am going to charge depreciation at the rate of 30% because now the valuation will be made of those two scooters which has been taken over by him. So we have to do that. We will understand this concept. Also, X Limited settle the seller's dues. So whatever is left that X Limited has paid him, you are required to give journal entries and scooter account and super motor account in the books of X Limited for first 2 years. So purchaser books will be prepared. In purchaser books, we have to pass journal entries, scooter account, asset account, and super motors account. So I am interested to go for scooter account and super motors account only. I will not going to pass journal entries that is already with you. You may see later on in your module. Let's prepare scooter account and super motors account in the books of B Limited. Let's do it. Illustration number 8. X Limited super motors account. In the books of X Limited. So first of all, we have to prepare super motors account. Second, we have to prepare asset account, that is scooters account. Very easy and very simple. I will make it for you. Make it very easy. Just do it with me. Let's understand it and you may copy it later on even. Or you may prepare it simultaneously. It is up to your choice. Scooter account. So it is date, particulars, amount, date, particulars, amount, date, particulars, amount, date, particulars, amount. Write it properly as it will give you marks in your exam. So here it is should be rupees which you have to mention. So after then, first entry will be regarding purchase of an asset from Super Motors. So it will be on which date? Dates are mentioned in the question? No, dates are not mentioned. So buy a scooter, it will be 2,25,000 and two Super Motors, it is 2,25,000. First entry is very simple. Then down payment is made to bank. 45,000 is the down payment. Then we have to calculate interest also. According to my assumption, it is clear to everyone. that in this case 60,000 is the annual installment plus interest. So by interest, how to get the interest? Very simple. In the first year, 2,25,000 minus 45. It is 1,80,000 into 9% is the rate of interest in the given question. See here it is 9% per annum. So it will be 1,80,000 into 9%. It will be 16,200. So two bank installment is paid 60,000 plus 16,200. It will be 76,200. Then two balance carried down. It is 1,20,000. Here depreciation will be charged by depreciation. Rate of depreciation is given to you. It is 20% account to us. So whatever we have assumed that we will charge 45,000 and 1,80,000 is the balance carried on. It will be brought down in the next year 1,80,000. It will be brought down in the next year 1,20,000 beta. So in the next year we have again charged interest. It will be 1,20,000 into 9%. 10,800 beta. Now we have not made payment of installment. Now installment is not paid. So what do we have to do in this case now? If installment is not paid beta, then repossession will be there. He says we have repossessed the goods back. Date is not mentioned, so it will be taken as a normal assumption that it will be taken over at the end of the year. Obviously, within a day or two, we have taken it over. So no interest and depreciation will be carried extra for this purpose. The basic concept is scooters were taken over, and these are two scooters which has been taken over. One has been left with us. So those two scooters are taken over after charging a depreciation of 30% annually on written down value. But we are charging depreciation at the rate of 20% annually. Obviously, both are on written down value method. This is also on written down, this is also on written down. So what we have to do now? Let's prepare working note. In this, we will make valuation of two scooters repossessed by the purchaser according to vendor and according to purchaser separately. Value of goods repossessed vendor purchaser. सबसे पहले first of all value of two scooters, cash price of two scooters. Depreciation is always charged or valuation is always made on the basis of cash price, not on the payment made with interest, because interest is a period expense that will be written off. So cash price of two scooters is, it is 75,000 into 2. It is 1,50,000 for both of them. It is same for both of them. There's no worry. Depreciation per annum, it is 30% WDV method. It is 20% WDV method. So we have to charge depreciation. Depreciation for first year, according to 30%, it will be 45,000. So it will be 1,05,000. In second year, again depreciation of 30% will be charged on the balance. So it will be 31,500 beta. So it will be 73,500 beta. So this is the value as on the date of repossession beta according to vendor. and this is 20%, so it will be 30,000. It will be 1,20,000 beta. It will be 24,000. It will be 96,000 beta. So according to vendor, these goods are valued at rupees 73,500, whereas purchaser assumed that these goods worth rupees 96,000. So how much is the loss to purchaser in this case? Loss to purchaser, because loss occurs only to purchaser. Vendor is not going to suffer any loss because he is just taking over the goods. When he will sell those goods, then he will suffer a loss, which we will discuss in the next lecture. So yet we are only calculating loss to purchaser. That is, loss to purchaser is equal to value of goods repossessed according to value of goods repossessed according to purchaser minus according to vendor. This will be the loss. Now in the given case, it is 96,000 according to purchaser and 73,500 according to vendor. So we are going to suffer a loss of 22,500 in this case. 22,500 बेटा, 22,500 का लॉस हुआ. एक बार दोबारा से हिंदी में डिस्कस करते हैं कि देखो बेटा, जब हम लोग गुड्स को रीपोजेस कर लेते हैं तो रीपोजेस करने के टाइम पर हम अपने हिसाब से वैल्यूएशन करेंगे. हम परचेजर के हिसाब से नहीं देखेंगे गुड्स कितने की, हम देखेंगे कि हमारे हिसाब से ये गुड्स कितने की रीपोजेस होनी चाहिए. तो हम लोगों ने चेक किया, हम मतलब वेंडर, वेंडर ये चेक कर रहा है कि इसकी डेप्रिसिएशन 30% हम चार्ज करेंगे, तो 30% के हिसाब से आपने उसकी वैल्यू निकाल लेनी है. दूसरी तरफ आप परचेजर के हिसाब से उसकी वैल्यू निकाल लो. जो दोनों में डिफरेंस है वो लॉस है किसको? परचेजर को. उसकी हमने एक एंट्री डाल देनी है जो कि मैंने आपको पिछले क्वेश्चन में भी समझाई थी. बड़ी सिंपल एंट्री है. इट विल बी बाय, इट विल बी टू एसेट, टू scooter account. He has taken over the scooter for how much value? For 73,500. This is the value as per vendor, which we have already discussed. Value as, I will pass a journal entry for you also, that will be easy for you to understand. First of all, pass a journal entry. Journal entry for it is vendor account debit. Vendor is named is Super Motors. Super Motor debit with 73,500 to asset account, that is scooter account. He has taken over with rupees 96,000, the value at which it has to be taken over, but he has not taken over at that value. Here it will be balance carried on. Whatever is left, here it will be by vendor account. Vendor is Super Motors for rupees 73,500. By loss, which is written off to P&L account later on, 22,500 beta. By balance carried on. It will be whatever is the balance that will be carried on. Here it is not required to be two balance carried on even. In this case, he says that he has made the balance payment. It has been specifically given in the question. If it is not given, obviously we will keep it carried on. Otherwise, in the given case, it is mentioned that to bank, whatever is left, he has settled. He has made the payment. So it will be to bank balance figure. Whatever is the balance figure that is paid off. So this is paid off, but it is not mandatory that it is paid off. It may be two balance carried on also in number of cases. Here it is mentioned specifically in the given question. You may see it is given to you. X Limited settle the seller's dues. So that means for X Limited has paid off the balance payment. So due to that reason, I have passed an entry to bank. But if it may not be passed, if it is not mentioned, it may be two balance carried on. Here, I think everything is clear to you, beta. Your homework. Beta, your homework is illustration number 10 and 11. You may try illustration number 10, illustration number 11. if you can do it. Otherwise, there's no problem. We will do it tomorrow. 48th found is balance figure, beta. So tell me, everything is clear, beta? If everything is clear, you must have to like this video. You must have to share this video. You must have to send it to others for the benefit of them. So one scooter left, exactly one scooter left, and that has been purchased by me. Now nothing will remain due because I have made the payment of two bank. Whatever is balance, I have paid it. So the matter is closed in this case. Otherwise, it may be two balance carried down, and later on we may continue for making payments. तो बेटा इसको शेयर करना है, और नेक्स्ट वीडियो नेक्स्ट लेक्चर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होने वाला, मैं आपको बता देता हूं। उसमें पार्शियल रिपोजिशन के हम एडवांस केसेस करेंगे, इसी तरह से उसको सिंप्लीफाई कर दूंगा मैं आपके लिए। और दूसरा, उसमें मैं आपको कई ऐसी चीजें सिखाऊंगा जो 6 मार्क्स में 8 मार्क्स में बहुत बार क्वेश्चन आ चुके हैं एग्जाम में। तो वो क्वेश्चन हम अगली बार करेंगे। तो बी रेडी फॉर द नेक्स्ट लेक्चर। ओके देन, थैंक यू वेरी मच। सर क्लोज करें, कर दो क्लोज। सर क्लोज कर दे सेशन। क्लोज कर दो। मैंने कर दिया सर क्लोज मैंने तो।